To say that Jim Ellis is a successful Fort Lauderdale entrepreneur doesn't tell the whole story. So, let's start at the beginning. Jim was the baby of the 5 children born to Jack and Joyce Ellis in Chicago. While Jim was still a baby, the family moved to St. Louis, Missouri. His 3 brothers and 1 sister were not only close in age, but they were a close-knit family. Although an admittedly unenthusiastic high school student, Jim went on to college and was getting his pilot license when, working part-time in a video store for $3.25 an hour, a man came and asked to buy videos. Back then, a video cost about $100 and nobody was selling them. Jim's answer was, "Mister, I'll sell you anything but the cash register." At that, the man said, "Oh, we're going to get along great," and bought about $3,500 worth of videos. They formed a friendship, and eventually this man, who was actually Gordon McDonald, Executive Vice President of General Dynamics, loaned Jim $66,000 to start his own video store, naming it Movies to Go. Within months, Jim had paid Gordon back, and 6 years later, with no further investment or risk, Gordon walked with over $10 million as, together with his 3 brothers, John, Joe, and David, and his long-term friend, Tim Ott, Jim expanded his business from St. Louis to Dallas and Chicago. It should be noted that at that time, Movies to Go was the largest privately held and independently owned video chain in the U.S. At age 30, while building his 30th video store, a successful entrepreneur named Wayne Huizinga sought him out and, after flying to meet with Jim, made him an offer to buy Movies to Go. Long story short, Jim's Movies to Go became part of the Blockbuster story as the first acquisition by Blockbuster, and what's more, Jim brought with him some ideas of his own, like how to rapidly expand Blockbuster into the U.S. and internationally. Jim became SVP of Development, and by the time he left in 1990, Blockbuster had 1,700 stores, opening a store every 12 hours. In 1990, Jim formed Ellis Diversified Incorporated, a real estate investment and development firm. To date, Jim has invested in or developed in the Fort Lauderdale market over 2,500 units, including Sunrise Harbor with 370 luxury apartments and a 4-acre floating dock mega yacht marina, 350 Las Olas Place, a 30-story high-rise downtown with 163 luxury units, the 246 units Tides at Bridgeside Square, and Wilton Station, an urban village set on 10 acres in Wilton Manors with 272 residences. Jim also developed Eclipse, the first downtown affordable high-rise with 101 rental units. Jim was the first developer to propose high-rise developments in Flagler Village with the Whitney, with 386 residences completed by Lennar in late 2018, and the Rise, with 348 residents completed in 2020. Once the urban renewal in Flagler Village was well in progress, Jim pursued new developments downtown south of the river, with 2 high-rise projects currently in early development stage. First Avenue Residences with 380 units and 488 residences at Riverwalk with 362 units.
I first had the opportunity to meet Jim about 10 years ago when he was putting forth his development projects through the city's building department. So at that time, we were sitting on opposite sides of the table, and of course I was pushing him to design some of the best projects in Fort Lauderdale. And now that several are built, it's exciting to see how downtown's evolved with his input. Now I get the chance to work on the same side of the table with him at the Downtown Development Authority, pushing forward very exciting projects that are changing the future of downtown and greater Fort Lauderdale. And as a long-term developer, Jim has participated in the revitalization of Flagler Village and greater downtown. He's served as president of the Flagler Village Improvement Association and is a very active board member of the Downtown Development Authority, where he's led many exciting new initiatives. Jim put forth the City-County Joint Government Campus project and personally funded the initial site planning, renderings, and feasibility studies that we used when we met with city and county elected officials to move that project forward. Jim led the initial effort to form the Fort Lauderdale Downtown Coalition, a group of more than 24 downtown organizations, many of which are nonprofits, civic and cultural institutions that advocate for the better of downtown. Along with the DDA, Riverwalk, and the Downtown Coalition, Jim led the efforts to increase the City of Fort Lauderdale's parks bonds from $150 million to $200 million and raised, over just a few weeks, $320,000 from the community for the advocacy and the successful passage of the parks and Fort Lauderdale Police Headquarters bonds with overwhelming success. Showing his generosity, Jim is also heavily invested in other nonprofits. And through 2019, he has served as chair of the Riverwalk Board of Directors, working on taking Riverwalk to the next phase of activity as our downtown blossoms.
Jim Ellis and I have been friends for a large number of years. We have good stories and we have better stories. In that vein, one of the things I can tell you about Jim is he has a laser focus. Whatever project he takes on captures his undivided attention, and anybody close by will be caught up in that same laser focus. I find that he gives more than he takes. He's a great team player in most cases. He does have an opinion and he's happy to share it with you. Sometimes we're all on the same page and sometimes we're not. But at the end of the day, he's a change maker. He's making a difference in our community, and for that, I'll always be on his team.
For the last 7 years through 2020, Jim has committed his time, talent, and over $1 million to revitalize and bring Hugh Taylor Burt State Park back while serving as president of the Friends of Burt State Park. The list of 50-plus projects is daunting, but over $6.5 million in funds from private and governmental sources have been received to fix the 1.2-mile crumbling seawall, add a public floating dock and pavilion, clean out Long Lake, create a meditation garden, build a pedestrian walkway over Long Lake, install a new playground, renovate the Terramar House, and many other projects.
It's been a joy. It's been a challenge. You don't know that you can't do some of the things you want to do, so together we try and do it, and somehow it works. You just make it work. You are a change agent. Somehow you see things that others don't see. It's a very special talent, and I've learned a lot from you. You know, at this stage of my life, to keep learning is a good thing. I'm building brain cells, so thank you for that. You are the hardest working person I know. That's why sometimes it's hard working for you. But we love you. Congratulations on a well-deserved award.
It may look like Jim doesn't have time to enjoy the finer things in life, but he's managed quite a few family trips during the last couple of years. While Jim prefers to be in shorts or jeans, he can also dress up if he has to.